Hi everyone and welcome to Reaktor's remote job fair. I'm Anna, I'm part of the Landing.Jobs team and I will be your host for today. As we are waiting for everyone to join, I hope you are well seated and ready for the next hour. For those of you who don't know yet, Reaktor helps global companies such as HBO, Adidas, and many others to become technological leaders, creating custom-made software and developing digital strategies together. Reaktor currently has 9 offices across 6 countries, and they just opened their new tech hub here in Lisbon. So today we have here with us Nizar Jouni, Head of Engineering, and Ella Pecky, Lead Recruiter from Reaktor. If you have any questions throughout the session, please feel free to leave your questions on the bottom here below, on the Ask a Question button, and we'll answer them in the end. And if you want to comment something on the chat and engage with everyone who's here, please feel free to do so. For the people that have just joined, my name is Anna. I'm from Landing.Jobs team. We are here with Hella and Nizar from Reaktor, and we are about to start our presentation to get to know more about this company. So Hella and Nizar, thank you so much for being here. The stage is now yours.
Great, thank you. Just 1 second and I'll share my screen. Okay, and then to the presentation mode. Yes, I think you can now see our presentation. So hi everyone, and thanks a lot for joining us. It's so exciting to meet all of you and tell our story and what we're doing in Lisbon. Reaktor, we are consultancy, software consultancy company from Finland, and we are now expanding to Lisbon. Me and Nizar are working with our Lisbon recruitment team, and we're here today to share something about Reaktor and our recruitment in Lisbon. You can there see our contact details, but short introductions from both of us still. So I'm Ella. I work with recruitment. I'm actually now located here in Helsinki, Finland, and I'm a bit jealous for everyone that gets to enjoy sunny weather at Lisbon, because in Finland it's been raining and it's super dark, but yeah, I think we'll manage. I have been working with recruitment in Finland for a while, and now that we're opening the new office in Lisbon, I'm working with Lisbon recruitment as well. Other than recruitment and growth and HR related topics, in my spare time, I'm quite into music. I play the piano. I like to read and write. And actually, I've been quite busy with reading at the moment, because I've been at actually 2 book clubs. We have, I think, 6 or 7 at Reaktor altogether. So reading has been keeping me quite busy lately, in addition to working with Lisbon recruitment. But hey, it's very nice to meet all of you.
Yeah, thanks, Ella. My name is Nizar. I work as a head of engineering at Reaktor. That's a fancy title, but basically my job is to hire people and then help them grow and succeed at Reaktor. And I've been in the company for 8 or so years so far and done pretty much everything related to consulting, from actual projects, project delivery. That's where I spend most of my time, and then sales, hiring, interviewing, and these kind of things. Something about myself: I'm originally from Helsinki, but I currently live in Amsterdam, and I'll be one of the colleagues you would be working with in Lisbon. Yeah, we can go to next one.
Yeah, sure. Here's very briefly our agenda and what we're gonna talk about today. First, we're gonna have a quick introduction on our history and our story. Then Nizar will also tell you a bit more about our projects and also tech stuff as well. Then we will share some insight on our culture and what it's like working at Reaktor and being a part of our community, and then discuss the Lisbon recruitment in a bit more detail. And at the end of the presentation, we'll also have plenty of time for your questions as well.
Yeah, and instead of making this yet another webinar where people tell and show slides, I think we can turn this into a bit more interactive part. So me and Ella, we could try to kind of skim very quickly through and then have a honest, interesting discussion about whatever topics you feel like you want to discuss. I guess that's the best way to get to know everybody, and both ways.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, so we as a company, we've been founded in year 2000, so I've been doing quite a lot of things already. Every one of our operational years so far, so 20, has been profitable, and we're like a very stable thing. Very oddly and ironically, the Corona year, the 2020, was financially the best year ever, but it was culturally very hard, and we had to learn new ways of working and remote working. But the blessing in disguise that changed our company is that we became a remote company or hybrid company in the process, meaning that we're not actually looking to set up like isolated operations in Lisbon, but rather build a company that's like EU-wide. We're employee owned. What this means in a very brief nutshell is that we're not stock noted and we're bootstrapped, so there's no external owners who come and look to extract profit. And this is visible in very humane way that we work with each other. About 600 people working at Reaktor. That's quite a big number, but we have grown to this quite stably in 20 years. So we managed to keep our culture in a pretty good order. What we do is work together with other Reaktorians and our clients and help our clients to work on their most critical software and design projects. In a nutshell, that's it. So the buzzwords here probably are like digital innovations and products and services and AI and so forth. But the day-to-day is like honest work with other human beings and using tech to solve tough business problems. Yeah, and so I've noticed a trend. I've been visiting Lisbon myself like a bunch of times and talked with a lot of people from Portugal. I noticed a trend that's starting is that quite a lot of companies are starting a kind of cheap nearshoring branch in Portugal, and that's exactly what we don't want to do, but rather spread our culture and spread our decision making and all of that to Portugal and have a talent community there. What this brings in a very concrete way is that once people are onboarded at one of our locations, so being it Finland or Japan or US or Netherlands, you can relocate to other country, for example, to work from that office either for like a couple of months or then go there for good. So all of these are the case. Like I'm originally from Helsinki and now I work in Amsterdam, and we have plenty of people going both ways. So like truly create Lisbon to be part of our culture and part of our community, and not a side thought or cheap outsourcing center. And we can take the next slide.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the common thing between all the projects that we have been working on is that they have been very critical to our clients and to the business, and in a good way, that's meaning that we do impactful work, and in a more tougher way, it means that sometimes life gets stressful. Yet, if I look at our markings, etc., we have been managing to average 8.1 hours or 8.2 hours per day working and not pull long weekends, etc. I think it's pretty rare to see ability or tech projects where impact is being done, but it doesn't mean that every workday is 12 hours. With Adidas, we have been helping their whole e-com, so that's crossing billions of euros, and there's like tens of thousands of lines of TypeScript and functional goodness there. With Liverpool, we've been helping them to interact with their fans better. They, by the way, have a lot of fans all around the world, and they generate a lot of data, so they're sitting on top of data. Pile of data gold. HBO, we're helping them to spread their streaming architecture, so basically help people watch Game of Thrones. in whole of Europe and replacing existing stuff. Airflow KLM, that's software that works in airplanes. And yeah, it runs JavaScript. A lot of these kind of things. Varian is a healthcare company in Sweden, which we do remotely. So there's teams, I guess, from US and from Helsinki who are working on Varian. And I would like to say that we cure cancer, but I think we're just tiny part in the whole machine that helps to cure cancer, helps people to live a better life. And all of these things about our projects, since we're developers, if we go a little bit more technically into them, is what I'm very proud about is that the code quality is fairly nice. Things like continuous delivery and automated testing and functional programming, that's a starting block for us. That's not like, oh, we managed to pull it through. So if we look at all of our projects, most of them have automated testing, continuous delivery, and these kind of things. It's pretty cool. And typically the technologies we use are going with the mantra of let's have a best tool for the job. So sometimes the best tool for the job is just a Google spreadsheet and no code at all. And sometimes that's truly is that you need to do some heavy cloud lifting and build a Kubernetes cluster in the cloud to solve something. And it really sucks if you try to solve them the wrong way around. So use spreadsheets where you need Kubernetes clusters and use Kubernetes clusters where spreadsheets are used. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that we don't want to be over engineering, and I would think we have found like pretty nice sweet spot of kind of like how much to put engineering into projects to get the best part out of them. Technologies we like to use and I like to use is Clojure. That's something running on JVM. Kotlin, TypeScript, functional flavors of JavaScript. I guess in the front end, most of our projects have some flavor of functional state management. So that's like React hooks or then Redux or something like that, and so forth. The interesting stuff about us that sets us apart from quite a lot of other companies is that we don't have a head of engineering like myself or CTO or something like that who would tell you that you have to use this technology or you have to use that technology, you cannot use that. But that's something that we empower our teams to make best decisions together with our clients, that which way do we start cracking the problems. We believe that this kind of technical leadership happens in the trenches and not in the ivory towers. So we don't have the ivory tower architects either in-house, and at Reaktor projects, the more junior people work throughout the stack from the most juicy to the most boring problems, and the same thing goes for the most senior people. Our architects still do form validation. We can go to next one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe one thing I can mention about the project. There are a few references that we're having a few cases just to give you an understanding of what kind of companies we're working with, but the range of client companies and different industries that we work in is quite huge. It goes from anything between retail, health, aviation, education. So that's also something I think we can be quite proud of, that we affect our society and different industries and people's lives from in many fields. So I think that's quite interesting and cool. But yeah, these are a couple of examples that we have. Yes.
Yeah, and thanks, Ella. And you can actually stop us and ask and write questions there. We can have a chat meanwhile. Yeah, with the tech, we went through that briefly. So I guess in a nutshell, no ivory tower architects. Everybody does hands-on work. People, juniors and seniors, both take responsibilities in our projects. And best tool for the job is the mantra, instead of being dogmatic with one technology or the other. Our code base sizes typically in projects range from it's like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 lines till 100K lines or something like that. So you get to go pretty deep, and our projects typically, and our tech goes so deep that we work on one project at a time and one code base at a time, usually from 6 months to 1 year, 1.5 years, etc. So you get at Reaktor and in consulting in general, that the kind of sweet side is that you get to see a lot of different technologies and a lot of different stacks and a lot of different approaches to solving different problems. This is something that the product companies, some of them might have and might not have, but for them it's typically better to unify. Whereas in consulting, there's like upsides to that, and then in consulting, you quite never know what's going to come up next. So Mohammed was asking that he's looking for an IT service management position in Lisbon, and he has 16 years of experience with all the interesting buzzwords. Is there an actual question, Mohammed, that you would like to ask me here? I guess not. We can move forward.
Okay. A couple of words on what it's really what it's like working here at Reaktor. Nisse already mentioned a bit about our projects and the teamwork and how the teams here at Reaktor run. So I think in the very core of our DNA is that we trust our employees from day one, and basically the expert, be it a developer, a designer, a recruiter, or whatever your field is, we trust your expertise. So we trust that our developers in our team know the best way to get the job done and make the best solution for the client and work in the project. So that's, I think, something that I have been enjoying a lot, and it's something it feels weird to think about having someone, for example, monitoring my job or saying what I should do, because here everyone trusts each other, and we trust our experts and trust that they know what is best to do at the project and how.
Yeah, Tito was asking a question that what are the main technology and programming languages used by Reaktor? So the most common ones, we don't have, as I said, we don't have head of engineering or CTO who says that you have to use these tools. But most common ones, if I look stats from our projects, they are something running on JVM or something running on Node. So I would say like top two is probably like TypeScript, JavaScript, both in front end and back end, and probably like Kotlin or Clojure would be the third. We don't do like old school PHP or we don't do old school Java projects for some reason. This doesn't mean that in order to get hired at Reaktor, you don't need to know these technologies. You have to be good at some tech. It can be anything. You have to be very good at that. So, for example, when I was joining Reaktor, I was a Ruby on Rails specialist at the time. This was 2013, maybe? No, yeah, 2013. And my first project was in Scala and then in Clojure. So these kind of adventures wait ahead. Then when it comes to cloud platforms, the same thing goes there. I think most typically we deploy to AWS, but and use some sort of deployment automation, but we're not anyway set. Sometimes like Google Cloud is better and sometimes Azure. What's expected from ideal candidate and any kind of specific tech skills? Mario is asking this. So, and there's even more questions there. Interesting. So I'll keep this one short. I think the ideal candidate is one who has very good English skills, both written and verbal. We do talk a lot after all with each other. Ideal candidate knows one technology very well. It can be something very heavy on front end or something on cloud/back end. Ideal candidate is somebody with whom would like to spend time in the same projects. We can move forward and then go to the questions later on that are still in the ask a question.
Yeah. Sure, let's save enough time for them
Yeah.
later on. And actually, one thing, Nizar, you mentioned that the ideal candidate is someone we'd like to work in the project, but also I think we like to spend a lot of time with each other outside work as well. It's there also in the slides about the community. So we do a lot of things together. We enjoy going to the office, seeing our colleagues, and I think we have, what would I say, over 200, maybe 300 hobby clubs, for example. So there's a lot of like different hobbies and people have different interests, which is quite cool. That basically, if you join Reaktor, there's most likely a lot of hobby clubs and different communities that you get to be a part of, be it something related to your hobbies like music, sports, cooking, whatever it is, or then also related to your professional growth. Yes.
Yeah, we can go next one.
Yes.
Yeah, so the why behind the Lisbon thing, when we come, people ask us a lot, and I would like to tell that there's a nebulous vision, and we have developed a big AI data algorithm that's telling us that that's the place and these are the coordinates. But the real reasons are quite simple. Communication is base of all the work that human beings do together, and that applies to development work. And our company languages, despite we being from Finland, is English. So countries and cities where people speak English comfortably are like the top places. Then second thing, different cultures handle different things, different kind of interactions differently. And we believe that when it comes to technology, we have to be very explicit in our communication and we have to be quite direct when we talk. And this doesn't mean to be rude, but this means that instead of being overly polite, you should be able to confront the CEO of the company in front of people instead of like mousing around and going like, I'm not going to say. And we feel that Lisbon and Portuguese have this kind of traits that you are free to talk your mind. And this is very important when talking about tech decisions, that should we take the project to this direction or that direction. Then when it comes to people, I think good energy is something that people feel, whether in remote or physical working together. So I met quite many Portuguese people, and there's always, at least compared to where I'm from, Finland, the level of energy and smiles is much higher than where I'm coming from, and that's very delightful. So I guess like these three things are the key ones to go about. Then a fourth thing, which again seems very plain, and it is very plain, is that the time zone is right. We don't want to go to too much to east or to west, because then more than 3 hours of time zone difference makes work cumbersome at time. So Helsinki, Amsterdam, Lisbon, they're all kind of like nicely located together. And the roles and people we're looking to hire is we have a about spread of having 20% juniors, 25-30% in leading and senior category people, and then I guess there's quite a big thing in between juniors and seniors. And we're looking to hire people who are like very good at front end or very good at handling the whole web and tech thing from front end to back end, or then people who are like back end and DevOps specialized. We're not looking that much of people who are interested in just the back end part. So it's either like front end heavy things and roles with different seniorities and juniorities, or then DevOps / back end roles. And of course, mobile developers are interesting as well. So that's it. Let's take that next slide.
Yes. Those positions can be now found on our website. If you're interested, just take a look and hit the apply button, or you can also send me an email or a message on LinkedIn in case you're interested in. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Maybe we'll still have a bit of time, I'll very quickly walk you through our recruitment process that we have. So once we receive your applications and feel like we might be a good match, we're gonna start the recruitment process with a quick introduction call. It's usually with me or my colleague Billy, who also works as a recruiter at the Lisbon office. After that, we usually have 3 rounds of discussions with our developers. So the first interview with our developers focuses on working style, teamwork, attitude, persona, and that is why we call it the attitude interview. Next up, we have a technical round that focuses on your technical skills. And after that, we have the third meeting, which basically sums up all the previous conversations. But these are basically the 3 rounds of interviews we have, and they are always with our developers, usually 1 or 2 of them. And yeah, that's our process in a nutshell.
One more thing, Ella did a very good job explaining this. One thing that I'd like to add is that when we're devising our recruiting process, and especially the interview process and what kind of questions we ask, we want to be as real world as possible. So you won't find questions like how many windows there are in New York, or any other these kind of IQ brain teaser questions, but more situational questions and behavioral questions about different cases that you had to encounter. And in tech, the same thing goes. We're not going to ask for sorting algorithms or what is the third argument of this framework's constructor function of this class, but again, very real world stuff.
Yes, a good point. Cool. I think that's it from our side. I'm looking forward to all of your questions. Let me see.
There's at the questions part, there's 7 questions come in. The most voted one, that are you also open to hire people from other countries where you don't have offices and work remotely from there? That's Daniel is asking that.
Yes. At the moment, our plan is to hire people that are located in Lisbon or nearby. This is basically to get everything rolling at the Lisbon office and building a community there. So at the moment, it's not possible to join our Lisbon office fully remotely. We really don't have like any strict rules on remote work or working on site. So we want it to be flexible, and we want you to choose which is the best option for you. So, but yeah, in Lisbon, at the moment we work with hybrid model. So it's a mix of remote and on-site work, but not fully remote at the moment. Also, when it comes to relocation, at the moment we're actively relocating people to our Amsterdam office. So it's also an opportunity. But this is the current situation with the Lisbon office.
Yes, thanks, Ella. Then next one was by Louis. Hi, nice to meet you. Likewise. What's your perspective / goal in terms of team office growth and the size in short, mid, long term? What is the average number of people in Reaktor offices? Thanks. Okay, very good questions. Let's start from the average number of people in Reaktor offices. In Finland, Ella probably remember the numbers better there.
I should probably. I'd say it's 300 and something.
Yeah, so in Finland, I think we have like 3 offices with like 300 and something people in Helsinki and 30-40 people in Turku and 30-40 in Tampere. And then in Amsterdam, we have roughly 60 people, New York like 30, and Tokyo 30 or so. And all these offices work together. Naturally, the offices which have a closer time zones together work more. But we do work, for example, from Amsterdam to Japan. We do neobanking projects there. And the roles that we have in the company is not only developers, but also designers, AI staff, analysts, project management, what have you. Most of the buzzwords are there: UX, design, and so forth. Most of the buzzwords are there, so I think we're fairly compliant in that sense. Then what's your perspective / goal in terms of team office growth in size, short, mid, and long term? Well, the thing is that if we go crazy and hire the first 12 months, like there's 40 new people, it's very hard to establish culture. And culture is very important for people to work together and create good impact and results. So we noticed, and based on benchmarks from Amsterdam, is that it's possible to grow by 2 persons per month while maintaining culture and nice tight feeling of a community. More than that, it starts to get crazy. So we tried both modes and realized, okay, two people per month roughly is the pace that we want to go for. So this means that in 3 or 4 years would be at 100 people, and then that would be the optimal size of our community, because it's small enough that you still get to know everybody by name and have meaningful relationship with them, but it's also then again big enough to have like a lot of different clubs and sub communities around different topics. I hope that answered your question. Are we open to hire from Africa? Yes, we are, like Ella said. Then there's a next one, which is how diverse are your teams, from Paula. Ella probably could talk about Finnish part, and I could talk about the Amsterdam part.
Yeah, sure. Not quite sure what you mean here, Paula, with teams being diverse. For example, in many of our projects, there's diversity when it comes to the professions. We have developers, designers, coaches, business people, and I'm not quite sure what you meant by the teams being diverse.
Yeah, it's, Paula is specifying gender-wise, age-wise, and background-wise.
Yeah. Nisse, do you want to continue?
So, in Amsterdam, where I'm currently at, quarter of our workforce is not male. Let's put it that way. Age-wise, in Amsterdam, we have a split from 19 to probably 40 something. And background-wise, the funny thing is that we have quite a lot of people who have academical degrees, like Master of Science. Yet that's a thing that when we're going through CVs, we never look at. So we have people who are like high school dropouts, and then we have people who are PhDs working together. And I can let you in a small secret, I'm a high school dropout myself. So I guess that's some diversity there. I'm in leadership position in the company. Then gender-wise in Helsinki, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Nisse, go on.
Yeah, and gender-wise in Helsinki, let me check the stats. 41% of the people who started in year 21 have been women. And our leadership team, probably Ella knows better in Helsinki, what's the composition of leadership team in male to female ratio?
I'm not quite sure. I think it's half female, half male, I'd say, almost, with the leadership team.
It's more. I think it's like 4 out of 6 are women.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
I hope this answered your question, Paula. You can contact us afterwards if you want to further learn or discuss about this. Next question.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, Nisse, one addition. And also one thing I think we forgot was also about the background-wise. You have 20-something different nationalities in Amsterdam office. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that more lights. That's something that that I forgot about. Indeed, there's people from probably all the continents of the world, and official language is English even in Amsterdam.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, thanks for picking it up, Ella. The next one was, how do you manage to tackle so many different industries with the same team? How do you manage the specializations that is probably necessary for each project when the industry range is so big? Very nice question, Daniel. The thing is that we don't claim to be industry experts in all the industries, but what we have seen and what has worked out very well is that the whole team doesn't need to be industry specialized. It's enough that if we have a team of 6, that there's like designers and developers and probably some analysts there in the team, that some of them are industry experienced and some of them can be fresh. Most of the tech problems that we're tackling are quite similar from one industry to another, whereas the design, for example, could be vastly different. And then the same team, it's not the same. So we have people who are specialized more towards, for example, say e-com, some are more specialized towards health. And our new strategic initiative is to actually start even deeper specialization in retail and in healthcare and healthcare business. Another, I think, important part there to get things going is that people need to get trained a lot. So we invest substantial amount of our time and money and revenue into training our people. This means that if you want to learn more about industry X to work on that one, you can subscribe to pretty much any online course. You can even go online to find mentors. You can buy books or whatever, all the things you need, and the company will 100% subsidize it. So that's one thing that I'm very proud of, is that we don't have a studying budget. You can use as much money as is reasonable. If that means you want to buy a new book every week about the subject, great. As long as you keep reading them, that's fantastic. Then, are they junior DevOps engineer role, and what do you look out in a prospective hire? In a short, there could be, but I do feel that DevOps engineering is fairly senior role. You need to know fairly good bit about like coding, about Linux and Unix principles, about different clouds, development and pipelines, and how like development work turns into production code, and so forth. And then I feel that that's something that you have to have seniority to truly grok. And while I think when it comes to front end, it's easier to be junior because the area of impact can be quite small. But for the DevOps, it's such a wide role that finding juniors is not saying it's not possible, but it's fairly rare. Your online published open positions show only senior roles to Lisbon. Me myself, recently graduated computer engineering, but worked in the past 13 years as IT help desk. Are you open to receive spontaneous apps? Perhaps Ella can.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, those are the positions that we currently have in our site, but we're happy to hear from you anyway. So please don't focus on the years of experience that might have been listed in our positions. I think we still want people to approach us, and we're gonna check, of course, the CV and see where the discussions go. So but yeah, at the moment those are the open positions, but please don't hesitate to email me or send a message on LinkedIn or send your applications.
Yes. Oftentimes, I think, Ella, we have witnessed, correct me if I'm wrong, is that we might go like, well, let's see in a year. So not working out once doesn't mean that we cannot talk in a year or two. Next
Yes.
one, where about is the office? I can paste the link here in the chat. Oh, that's a long one. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name. Or should I? Largo do? No, I'm not. Oh, it's fairly central place underneath the railway station. Do you also offer work from home job offers? Yeah, Ella, would you like to comment on this?
I think we might have answered this question already. So when it comes to working from home, we can't offer like fully 100% remote positions, but of course we want to be flexible with the remote work and working in a hybrid model that combines working at the office and working from home whenever you feel like it.
Yeah. So
cool.
So
Any more questions or comments?
yeah, I'd like to ask people to ask questions which they normally don't. You can ask anything about me or Ella or Victor or Lisbon, Amsterdam, Helsinki, Finland, anything. Not sure if we can answer all that stuff, but at least try.
it seems that people are shy here and not asking questions. So I'm not sure if you want to share a funny curiosity about yourselves to try to.
Yeah, Daniel is asking here, are you professionally fulfilled? And Paul is asking, can we really be barefoot in the office as seen in the pictures? I think for Paolo, the easiest thing is that, yes, you can be barefoot anywhere in the world if you want. It's up to you. Nobody can force you to wear shoes. But we do have people who go barefoot. Yes, I don't. I like to wear socks, but I guess that's personal preference. How about you, Ella?
I usually have my shoes. I just ordered a new pair of shoes, so yeah, I'm using them at the office, or socks.
Yeah. And then Dan is asking that, are you professionally fulfilled? I guess I can answer to that.
Yeah, go ahead, Nisse.
Yeah. The thing is that there's not one binary metric that are you fulfilled or are you not fulfilled, but rather that do you feel that there's something new happening every month or every quarter that's taking you somewhere forward, and do you derive happiness from it? I understand that as a developer, just moving Jira tickets forward day to day to day to day, and not being in touch with the real world and being shielded with all the analysts and all the POs without being in touch with why the software really gets done. I think that's unfulfilling, and that will result in situations where which we are trying to avoid as a company. So being in touch with the real world in terms of tech and understanding why the problems that we're solving with the code leads, I think, to better fulfillment. There's been some studies on this, that what makes people grow and what makes people fulfilled. And one of the key things that came out, I can't remember the book though, I think it's called Accelerate, is there mastery, that can we as developers master a skill and have autonomy to learn our skills that we work on. And I like to say that that's happening fairly well at Reaktor. Whenever I code something and I got stuck, there's amazing network of people who help me to take that one step forward. And whenever I'm in a tough client situations and the clients want to solve a problem that's really not a problem for them, I don't know how to articulate the thing. There's again a huge network of support at Reaktor that helps me go forward, and I get to crack it in a meeting with the client and get to the best result. And again, that brings fulfillment, at least for me and what I see in others. How is it for you, Ella?
Yes, I agree with that as well. And yeah, the question, are you professionally fulfilled? I feel like it, and I have to admit, this goes to quite personal level as well, but when it comes to my own career development and professional development, it's been quite exciting to work with the Lisbon recruitment. It's totally a new thing for me as well. So that is I'm quite, yeah, I've been really into work and what I get to do now. So it's been quite amazing.
Yeah, there's a next one We have 9 minutes time. What is the email to contact and schedule profile screening for jobs? That's very easy. Text is ella.pekki. I can write it here.
Yeah, sure. You can write it in the chat.
What is like
Yes.
to work, live in Finland and Amsterdam? Ella could probably tell about Finland. I could tell about Amsterdam.
Yeah. Now I've been to the office almost every day. We really don't have any more restrictions when it comes to COVID restrictions. We really don't have those anymore at our Helsinki office. So basically, I work in our recruitment and talent growth team. We're here at the Helsinki office, and then some of us in Amsterdam, and also working with the Lisbon team. But yeah, most of our team has been to the office, and it's been so much fun being here and seeing people. So yeah, here we are, a bit living in the darkness during these last months of the year, but still I'm quite excited to be at the office and seeing people and just having some random conversations and laughing together. So yeah, I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I think from Amsterdam, one of the coolest things is that the city is so small that you can go anywhere by bike. So that's an amazing thing, and you cannot or you don't have to, I don't know which way I want to say, own a car. And I think both things with Finland and Amsterdam, they're fairly safe places to live. Like if you want to come home from bar at the middle of the night, you don't need to start thinking that that's a bad neighborhood or something like that. Fairly neat. And I think the culture of both Amsterdam and Finland is that people are quite straight spoken and honest, and that brings a nice twist. And then there's what to expect about salary, benefits, and compensations. Well, that's very good. Very good question, and very to the point one. Our salary range is from 30 something till 80 something, okay, per year. The benefits, they're better listed on our job ads, but in a nutshell, all the most important stuff there, like health insurances, etc., are and commuting support and lunch coupons and these kind of stuff. I think they're pretty extensively cataloged there. Plus, also, since we're starting, we're looking for people to join us who are experts in what to get as benefits. We have also reserved part of the budget for benefits we haven't yet discovered that what they should be, because in each country they're different. In Amsterdam, you get a bicycle when you join. In Helsinki, there's lunch coupons. We don't know yet what is it in Lisbon. We want to decide this together as a community, and not somebody from HR going like, these are your benefits. Thanks, Paolo. Then there's last comment from Akin. I'm sorry, I'm not too good at pronouncing your name. Do you employ developers from specific stack only? For example, I write C# Java with practical knowledge in CI/CD. Would you advise I apply to software developer with you? Yes, I think that's advised. Right, Ella?
Yes, definitely. Because we have so many of different clients and projects and industries and techs that we work with. So there really isn't like any specific list that, hey, you need to fill all of these requirements and have these technologies in your CV. So yes, please don't hesitate to apply.
Yeah, I think this was fantastic, and it's never a shame to end a meeting a little bit early, right?
Exactly, Nizar. So there are no more questions. So this is the end of our session today. Ella and Nizar, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for our audience to be so engaging and ask all of these amazing questions. This session was really great. As you know, Reaktor is currently Recruiter, and if you want to know more about their jobs, you can always check their careers page or Landing.Jobs. And thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you soon, and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Mario.